percent. The other one was 100%. So we'll start today and see if we can get at least 2 scalps, and hopefully, and all the money will come along. I wanted to talk about what's coming up. We're going to transition to an automated system in April, and it'll be just signals. Miss Danielle and I have been working on alerts for probably 18 months and kind of hit the mother load. Thanks to her, I can't take anything away from her. Just an amazing, amazing suite of alerts. So we have almost 2 months to get people to where they're able to uh, work on their risk management, work on their powder portfolio. Uh, Signals will run much. Well, let me not make any promises, and I know people, because people will say I said something that I didn't. April, we may keep it until 11, but what we'll do gradually is add more hours to it. There won't be anybody manning the signals. It'll just be all automated. We'll start to talk about the keys to that um, in March. And what I mean by the keys, showing you exactly what each indicator represents. It's really simple. There's only a couple indicators. We have, I don't know, maybe we probably have literally 50 different indicators. But what we're alerts, excuse me. What we're going to do is we're going to reduce that number to 2 or 3 at the most. And when you see those alerts, then you just jump in. It's probably 95% accurate on the alerts. But if you don't have good risk management, then what happens is you stay in a position, it goes against you, and you can't recover. So we got another month. This month we'll tighten up and people work on their risk management, and then starting in March, we'll kind of break down the keys. We'll break down the alerts, the indicators that you'll see on your screen, and what you do with each one of those. And like I said, it's incredibly impressive. So it has an all the money. Um, it has an all the money. What's this thing called? Pain, which shows you statistically, mathematically, whether or not you should stay in a position. Uh, I don't know if Miss. I'm looking at Nvidia right now. It's falling apart, and it's got an 89% stay in the position. So we're really making some progress, and that's what we can look forward to. Now I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to get ready to call some signals. It's gonna.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Okay.
Buying it. We already know it's a good company. Okay, now we are open. Okay, here we go. Yep, it's running down. So we got a bearish crossover here. So yeah, it's unlikely that we'll probably get anything in this one. Let's see, let me look at some other stuff. Apple's doing well. Amazon. Oh, look at Costco. Possibly Costco. Costco's being no. Costco's okay. Google. TSM is doing well. Hmm. Really tempted to jump into something else, but everything on the list actually, the only things that are doing really well is Amazon and Apple and TSM.
Jamie, I can
Mm.
barely hear you.
Oh, okay. That's because I haven't got my headphones in. I just have to talk loudly. How about this? I'm not sure where the mic is. Okay. TSM. I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm gonna put this in. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, Microsoft probably. Oh, Costco just blew up. Oh, okay, let's see here. Okay, Costco. If I can change fast enough, maybe try to get in on this Costco. Costco's a good company too, so let's see if we can get in on this. 971.80. Since Microsoft isn't doing anything for us, or it's going to take a while. 971.68. Oh yeah, so now it's kind of deflated a little bit. Even the Costco just deflated. Mm. Everything just pulled back to you got a red candle on the Apple, on the Amazon, everything except for the TSM. The TSM is still rallying. The Google's got really huge wicks on the top and the bottom. Yeah, so the Apple, same thing. It's got a really crazy candle. Things are going. And according to futures, what I'm looking at here, it looks like we are in yellow today. It could go either way. The market's just waiting for some kind of. We got a green candle on the. Okay. Okay, the Costco is starting to do good. 972.46 and 63, 72.63. Volume's really low on it today. It's 973. I'm gonna try to get in at 972.63. That's a huge spread before where it is now, but let me see if I can get it. Sometimes that works. I know that works on Microsoft a lot of the time. No, I'm gonna put it up to about 973. I'm not getting it. It's blowing up. I'm chasing it a little bit. Now I'm gonna move it up to 973.64. See if I can get it that. Nope, it just blew up past that. It's blowing up this Costco. I'm gonna press one more time, and then if I don't get it, I'm just gonna forget about it because I'm already kind of chasing it. Yeah, I'm gonna forget about it because I just readjusted my buy-in price like 3 times on this Costco, and I don't like to chase it. Oh, man, I totally missed that Costco. I'm gonna cancel that. Darn it, just missed that one. But it's rallying. I was looking at it when it was 971. Now it's 980. My God. I want to chase it so bad, but I'm not going to. Ugh. Did anybody get in on that, the Costco?
Nope, my order
Okay.
didn't fail.
Yeah, mine didn't either. I readjusted like 3 times. I went all the way from 972.63 to 973.64, and it just didn't fill. I'm gonna wait on this Microsoft. Okay, well, Microsoft is now maybe starting to give us something. Let me go back here. Microsoft. We're 17, 60, 71, 66, 63, 72, 60, 25. Okay, now it looks like we're getting a false line. I'm just probably going to wait for this Microsoft. It's the safest thing to do. Just be patient. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, especially when you see Costco go up about $7 right in front of your face and you didn't do anything about it. This Microsoft is right at the brink right here. Something's gonna happen. Either it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down even further. We'll see. Yeah, this Microsoft is really playing with us. I hope no one jumped the gun. Did anybody? Let's see like where it goes. Man, looks like it's gonna go lower. Did anyone trade anything else?
Traded SanDisk and Google.
How'd you do on that Google? That was going up, but there were some wild wicks on both sides of those green candles.
Oh, I didn't hardly make anything. I actually thought I did better than that, but now I'm looking back on it, I didn't make anything. I was up a lot more than that. I don't know what happened. I did something wrong.
Probably just not being fast enough because, like I said, when there's wicks on both sides, it's just like a bucking bronco. It's hard to like.
Yeah, right.
It's everywhere all at one time. So those are tough. I was noticing that too.
I made $5 a share on SanDisk, but I only buy a couple of shares at a time.
Yeah.
So I won't get stuck.
I traded Walmart. I'm up 30 cents.
Okay. You gonna take it? Or
I am
today's
going to
yellow
take the
day?
30 cents.
Okay. Good call. Let me check out Walmart. Oh, what? Walmart's 125? Jeez. It's been doing
It
well.
looks like it's still
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
I'm up 80 cents now.
At some point, you're gonna have to make a decision. It's up to you though. But if I'm gonna let me look at the year chart on this thing, see what it looks like. Since my Microsoft's not doing anything, I have time to do this. Oh, actually, we just got a bullish crossover above the midline on the second from yesterday. So the thing is rallying, huh? Got earnings coming up on the 19th this month. Nice positive divergence. 32 on the ADX.
I also traded BRKB, which we haven't talked about for a long time.
Yeah, that thing has just been in like a channel.
I got
How'd
in
you
and
do
got out.
on
I got in and got out for a few cents.
Okay, I'm up $1.25 on Walmart. I'm gonna
Okay.
get out.
Okay, yeah. Good decision. Berkshire, Joanne, that's pretty good on the year chart. That's a
That's right.
crossover. Yeah.
We haven't talked about it for ages, but the year chart is turning around. So
Yeah. That's a good time to be careful with that one, though. That one's kind of temperamental too. It's been temperamental. I mean, it's a good company. I don't worry about it, but I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely not a tech company, but it's not gonna rally like that. That Walmart surprised me though.
I'm out.
Okay, how'd you do? $1?
$1.17 per share.
Nice, very nice, very nice.
It's still going up. But I got out on the upside.
Yeah, never look back. But look back just a little bit. That's how that rule works. Don't look back, but just a little bit. Not too long. Let's see, my Microsoft is still not doing anything. This is fine though. An exercise in patience. And this is actually good too because I'm actually so glad Microsoft is going down because it gives me something really good to share to trade. Okay. Okay, here we go. Mm, It's oh no, oh my God, just keeps going down. I probably won't. It's a bummer I didn't get that Costco because if I had, at least I would have got a trade in today. But I don't think I'll get one because I won't get one in time. You get in Berkshire at your what price? What was your price then?
I got in at. I'm not having a very good day today, actually. What did I get in at?
If you traded today, you should be doing well. Still pretty well on the miniature.
Not though. I want a couple of things I should have taken profit and didn't get out, so I'm having one of those days. I got in at 484.68 and out at 484.84.
484. It's
It
at
went way up.
480. Yeah, it's at 488 now.
It's just been so long since I've traded it. I was just like,
Mhm.
just want to be really careful.
Yeah. No, I understand that. That makes sense. Of course, when you do that, that's when it goes
Yes,
down. We all know how that goes.
that's right. That's right.
Yes, today is Tuesday, right? Yeah, I kind of got thrown off because I had my extraction yesterday. You typically do those because I'm like 12 hours ahead. So I had a dentist appointment. I had to get my tooth pulled, so that kind of threw me off. Yeah, I'll do one. I'll have one up for tomorrow.
How did the tooth pulling go? That doesn't sound like too much fun.
No, it was not.
Mm-mm.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought, but it was not fun. Just get this Microsoft. Oh my goodness, I got 5 minutes. Come on, do something.
Yeah, it looks like it's like slowly dribbling downward though. Even though the MACD is curving.
Miss Crystal, can you see if anyone is still in that position from earlier? If you guys are still in that position, put your hand up in the chat, first position. Okay. Okay. So there's 14%. All right. Thank you, guys. I missed an opportunity to get in that position in the second time because I was looking for other trades, and that one was right in front of my face. So, okay. Everything's running right now, so this NVIDIA is probably going to take off, guys. Looks like it. There was another reentry on that at 9:45, but I missed it because I was looking for other trades, looking at the SPY and QQQ. But there was a signal on there, so in April you'll see that signal, so you would not have missed that. It was 30, I want to say 38 cents, and got as high as about 42. So NVIDIA's playing today. So let me see like something. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Kind of missed everything on that one, just waiting around, looking for something. So I'm just going to wait patiently, kind of in a, I hope that this NVIDIA runs up. If this runs up, since I'm waiting, if it turns into something, once it gets to about 44, let's see where I got in that. $44. Okay. Okay. So we're going to kind of backtrack a little bit and get into this NVIDIA. And for those of you who are still in this position, kind of took a while to work out for you. But it's shaky. It's shaky. It hasn't really taken off. Now it's made money for scalpers, but it hasn't really gone into that all the money mode yet. And this is what happens when we're trading NVIDIA. If this were QQQ, it would have already taken off with that extra volatility. Speaking of, let's see what the spot looks like. Okay. We're going to wait patiently for a downside, a trade on the downside. So we have to let things run up so that we can get them on the downside. My granddaughter's trading with her father today in the hard share room. They're trading Microsoft, I believe. Okay, yeah, guys, it's just kind of withered out. All right. Let's trade Apple. Let's set up for a put on Apple. Now, I got to tell you guys, Apple is notorious for head fakes on the downside, but I'm gonna trade it nonetheless. Nonetheless, excuse me. I'll give you the contract information. It's going to be the Apple. Let me make sure here. It's just not a lot of trading on Apple this morning. Let's go with the 267.50, the 267.50 for 94 cents. And we're just waiting. Like I said, Apple can be very notorious. It can really, really run on you. So have your stop loss ready. Ooh, that thing dropped 20%, just like that. And this is what I mean with Apple. These Apple can really, really throw you off. So you got to be careful with Apple. But it's one of those companies that it's very volatile. So that's a good thing for trading. So we're still in that same contract. I'm not afraid of Apple, but I respect Apple. We've seen this thing get cutting 1/3 of the price come off these premiums, so he's really running up, and this is really common with Apple. You got to be very careful trading Apple when it's surging. Okay. Okay, looks like it kind of turned around. It's still not going to jump anymore. If I don't get this, okay, I'm going to jump in right now. At 83, let me see if I can get out of this bad boy. I'm not going to panic. Okay, let me set my thing for 84. I know that Apple can be crazy. Okay, I'm out of the position. 2 for 2. I'll let you know if it turns into an all the money trade. It's looking good. This was also on a signal that you guys will see in April. So starting to get sort of a preview of what signals will look like in April. It will be completely automated. So you don't have to listen to me talk. I got out at 84. Let me see what I got in at. I got in at 83 and got out at 84. I am a scalper. Okay, let me see what it's trading at now. It's 83. 2. It is not turned into an all the money trade. I want something to turn into the all the money trade. I want to at least get one scalp and one all the money today. And I hope that this is it so we can get it out of the way. It's 84, 85. So everybody had a chance to get in and out of this position. It is not turned into an all the money yet. We need some big red candles. 86. It's Apple. So Apple could turn around and shoot back up. But we did get in. I got in at 83. It's been as high as 86. I wanted to go to about $1.20. That's for some of you, all the money traders. It's 85 again. So as you can tell, guys, we're kind of doing it, slowing things down a little bit and taking a little bit more patience with the trades, doing some more alerts. Going off of alerts is what I'm doing. So hopefully it's not too slow for you, but this is trading. This is the best way to trade. 80. This thing's been everywhere. Okay. 97, 95. Okay, 97. Still not all the money. I still want to see. I want to see it do something before I can call all the money. Okay, if it gets to $1, okay. Let's make this an all the money trade. It is now all the money. It's 103, 102. So you guys have got some good 101. Okay. Three. We still don't have our first pre-trigger. And Apple moves so fast that you can get a pre-trigger, a first trigger, and a second trigger all in one time. And I have to see something before I call a pre-trigger. Okay, pre-trigger at 87. Okay, so that pre-trigger, you were still up 4 cents. Next thing you'll hear me say is first trigger when it happens. For those of you who are new, there's a pre-trigger, a first trigger, and a second trigger. The pre-trigger is intuition. The first trigger is an actual signal to get out. And the second trigger is a more pronounced signal to get out. So that's what the triggers mean. I know we got some new people showing up every day. So that's what it means. And all the money trade is it's a trade that you should be able to get more than a typical scalp, right? Where you're chasing every dollar of profit. We have a lot of people in this trade. It's becoming all the money trade. It went from 83 to 116. So these are all the money traders. It has reset on the pre-trigger. What that means is now I have to call a pre-trigger before the first trigger. So that's what it means. Shout out to all the money traders. Now, if you cut your risk on that NVIDIA and jumped in this trade, you can mess around and make money today. If you're still in that NVIDIA trade, hoping that it turns around, it's looking bleak. So just remember these things, guys. It's at 107. Could this be the 100% trade that we're looking for today? And we're just going to stay in this position until we can get that second trigger for folks, because we've already had a couple scalps and we have one all the money trade. So this is exactly what I wanted to see when I said earlier, hopefully we can get an all the money trade. So I'm doing just that. You guys have 7 more weeks to listen to it, about 7 weeks, and then it's going to be all automated. And I'll show you what that will look like a little later on once we wrap up this trade and maybe one more trade. Okay. Now, even though the premium has pulled back to $1.02, I still don't see a pre-trigger. So that's how it works. If you're new, I'm not just going to call a pre-trigger because the premium is decreasing. I have to see something, and then I have to wait for the first true signal. That would be the first trigger. Okay, looking good for you guys. 115, 114. This is why people pay to come to signals. Okay, 117, 120, 1. Okay. $124. Oh my gosh. So you guys are up about 80%. I want you to think about how we took our time on these two trades today. One of them really did what we wanted it to do, the trickiest one. And the NVIDIA, we got a couple scalps in on NVIDIA. Well, I got one scalp in on NVIDIA and one scalp in on Apple. Okay. 120. Amazing. Now, when we get to April, you're not going to have me running this down for you when it comes to all the money trades, but we do have an alert. I'll show you guys what that looks like once we get out of this trade. So you can just pay attention to the all the money indicator. It's a gauge, and it'll help you determine when to get out of the position. Right now it's saying 80% stay in the trade. Okay, pre-trigger. Second pre-trigger. Okay, we're getting an indicator to get in on a call right now. I'm not getting in on that. I'm only saying that because some people are still in this position, and the alerts are telling us it's about to go up. But we haven't seen it yet. But we could get a first trigger here. First trigger still up. Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Looks like we're gonna get us a second trigger here, but I'll let you know. It happens. Hasn't happened yet. We've had multiple pre-triggers. We've had one first trigger, and we're waiting on the second trigger. We don't know if it's going to reset on the pre-trigger. What that means is it turns around and goes down past the point at which the other pre-trigger was called. So we have to reset the pre-trigger. We don't know if that's going to happen. Now all the money indicator is saying 59%. Get out. Like I said, it's pretty incredible. Okay. These all the money trades can take me. Now I think I called this as an all the money trade right about 90 cents. So it had a lot of run up. Okay. From the point at which it was called all the money. I'm gonna give you guys some hope after this. Yesterday they asked me to stop trading. So today we're only going to do this trade. And I want to show you guys something in preparation for April. I was over trading yesterday. They said, Mr. T, please stop. So I'm sure people say more trades, more trades. It's kind of hard to satisfy everybody. Okay, we're getting close to that point to where it resets on the pre-trigger. Really close here. Okay. If it goes down about 20 more cents, we're going to reset on this pre-trigger. But I'll keep you posted. Oh, excuse me. So we've already had our first trigger. So that's the last trigger called on this. Let's see if it resets. I hope it resets and runs down to $2 for you guys. I think we've had our biggest week this week as far as people trying out signals. So thank you to everyone. Oh, come on, come on, come on. It needs to drop just a little bit more and we can reset this trade. And I want you guys to let me know, whoever gets out of this trade after the second trigger, let me know. It's reset on the pre-trigger now. So here we go again. Back up to 117. I know we got some folks in here that love these type of trades. Wow. Shout out to everyone still in this position. You have a lot of intestinal fortitude. 123, I think it's been as high as 124, so we could see a new high on this. 125. 132. Wow. Now it's 84% stay in the trade. 94% stay in the trade. So let's see. I want to see the bottom just fall out of this thing. I think we've had a trade that went up 300%. I don't think this is going to be the next one to go up 300%, but it could run. So the highest price has been 132. Got another pre-trigger. Okay, first trigger again. Preset on the first trigger. Let's see if it hits that second trigger. I'm laughing because this thing's done everything. It could very well turn around and run back down. It failed to get to that second trigger today as it's falling apart. Oh. Jesus. Okay. It is not reset yet, but it looks like it's going to reset again. An amazing trade. Now, if you drain this, let us use this for promotional. You don't have to give us your last name, but give us your first name. This is a big one. It's reset again. So I have to call pre-trigger all over again. We have to go through the process all over again. It's 138. It's been as high as 142, I believe. So if you're making 50%, 60% on a trade, you can see why cutting your losses at 10% make a lot of sense. If you're letting your losers go down to 60% and then taking 10% gains, you're never going to have a positive account balance. We'll talk about that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock here, right here. Miss Jerry, you worn out on the or Miss Crystal on the calling these pre-triggers?
No, just paying attention to make sure we alarm.
Okay. This is why when you get in a trade, you never know how long that trade's going to go if it turns into an all money trade. I've seen these things go down for hours and reset, take hours to go to the second trigger. I don't think that's going to happen today, but I've seen it. Okay, pre-trigger again. 130. We will see a first trigger. We'll see a second trigger here. Now I want to show you guys something when we get out of this trade. It's going to be really fascinating to you. And I'm going to do some explaining. I know it's early, but the more we talk about it, the more prepared you'll be when we transition to all signals without human Okay, second trigger. Finally, jeez. Okay, guys, now I'm going to show you something. If you're in this trade, you're on your own now. It's still $1.11, so you got in about 83. You had a heck of a trade. Don't be greedy and lose all your money. Not teaching. Not teaching. Okay, I'm going to clear my chart and I want to show you guys something. I'm going to give you sort of some insight into what signals will look like come April the 1st. And we'll go over this a couple of times because it's important that you understand this. And we've already had our trades for today, so we're not missing anything. Okay, let's go here. All right, I think I'm ready. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Congratulations to everyone who traded today. Had a great day of trading. Okay, let's do it. Let me trade my screen and talk about what it's going to look like next year. Excuse me, in April. Okay. This. Okay. This is what signals would look like in April. And I'm going to briefly explain to you how it works, right? And we'll go over this many, many times before April. This is why it's so important for you to have your risk management. These are indicators. You can see the red indicator, the green indicators, the red indicators. This, we don't know if we're going to keep this in or not, because it just creates more issues for people who don't have their risk management together. We may keep it in. Jamie recommends that we take it out and just simplify it and have two signals, the in and the out signals. Now, the red cross is a put, obviously. The green cross is a call. Now we can see in this position, I think I actually got in and out on this position. So, but I'm a scalper, so I can get in and out on the same candle. If you're not a scalper, then you have to make a decision. And with the signals, you can see, even if you had missed this position, you still would have gotten out of this position. Let's see, right here, 947, 5 minutes later, and it just ran up. Another call right here, even though this one happened, it turned around. You got that same inner signal right here, entry, and it ran up all the way to right here, and then it fell apart. This is Apple. This works on everything we're going to show you, right? And then it just falls apart. This is the signal that we got in on today. This is the signal that some people are still in this position. Now, if you notice, I said a couple times we got a signal to get in on the call. That was right here, right? That's when we got that signal. That was a good signal because that's a very large candle. That's 269.37, 269.92. So there's, I didn't get in on a call, but I looked at the premium. That would have been an opportunity to get in on a call as well. If you're not a scalper and you don't have risk management and you're all the money trade, this one could have thrown you for a loop. That's not necessarily a problem if you keep your risk management tight. So we get another signal to enter right here. This was a good signal right here as well. Another signal to enter right here. This was a good signal as well. So these are really amazing signals. They're over 90% accurate. Now, if we look over here, we have a guide for all the money trades, sort of talk about, show you when to get in and when to get out based on other indicators that are happening with the trade. So I'm going to have Danielle talk about this. I understand all of this. I don't want to really speak on that until she goes over it with everyone, but this will give you the information you need to decide whether or not to stay in a position, right? Once it becomes an all the money trade. As you can see it saying get out, get out, get out. But we'll go over that. So red put, green call. Now, if you notice something, this is an early signal for a call. Like I said, I don't think we'll keep that in there because it can just throw people off. But if people have patience, then this is a money trade too. And let me show you why. This trade closes right here. So this closes right here. Let's look at some real charts here. So these are the actual candles. So this is what the candles look like. The actual candles, not the Heikin Ashi. This is the candle. It went down. This is the early entry. So everything above, let me show you this. Everything above this line right here is money. Everything above this line is money. So when you get this early signal, you can see, well, you were up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes in that position before we got the other entry signal. We never got the entry signal on here. We got the pre-entry signal on the actual candles. We don't know whether or not we're going to use the Heikin Ashi or the live candles. We have to do some more research on that, and before we'll know whether or not to use which one to use. Now, this candle, like I said, this candle for a scalper, this was a money candle. For someone who's for all the money, they got in and they didn't get out. So now what they're doing is they're waiting for this to turn around and run up. And it probably will do that. So something to think about. Now, also, people say, well, when do I get out, Mr. T? I want to be in all the money trade, but I don't know. I want to have patience and this and that. Well, you can always do this. You can always do that. You stay in until you see this, right? You stay in until you see that. You stay in until you see this, right? You stay in until you see a red candle. You would still be in this position waiting for this to go back up to get to the red candle. So this could, if you're all the money trader, you're using this. It says buy 100%. The thing's going to run up. Then you have to wait for the next candle. Same thing with these candles. If you're not a scalper, as you use this. But if you're an all the money trader and you're just thinking, well, damn, how do I know when to get out? You can always connect the dots, so to speak. You can always limit the numbers of trades you have too. That doesn't mean that it's going to be like this every day. But you can see that's one trade, two trade, three trades. Perfect trades, just perfect trades. So let's look at NVIDIA. And like I said, we're going to go over this again. So you can see here, this was an early signal, right? This is where this candle closed. So the next candle for a scalper, let's pull this down here. Everything above this line is profit on this early signal. Everything above this line is profit. Now, I buy it when I see the signal. I don't wait for the candle to close because I'll usually in and out on the same candle. But that's up to each of you how to do that. You don't have to trade like I trade. But you can see right there, that's a pretty big candle. I think I was in on this signal, but don't quote me. I've only had two trades, both scalps. You can see right here, money. Right here, now this is interesting, and this is why Jamie says we should take these out, because this is an early signal right here. So this candle closed right here. Everything above this candle is money, but if you're not fast enough, you see that little thing right there, that wick, you would have missed that, and you would still be in this position. If you don't have risk management, then you would be down big time. You'd be down about 40% right now. So we may just keep these. You can see here, money. Here, this was tricky right here. So you're either going to cut your losses or you're going to stay in this trade until it turns around. So we're going to continue to improve these. I want to show you guys this. We may go with a longer chart because a longer chart is even more accurate. So this is a longer chart. This is the 5-minute chart. You can see we don't have anything on the 5-minute chart as far as a buy signal. Now, if we take this out, right? If we take this out, then you would still be waiting on that first buy signal on the 5-minute candle. The 5-minute candle is money. We may run a 5-minute and a 1-minute, but I want to show you guys yesterday's 5-minute candles. Okay, so here's one. This is a pretty long candle. Now remember, each candle is 5 minutes. So this may not look like you would have gotten in and out on this candle, but you would have, because this is 5 minutes. We can see here, money. We can see here, money. We can see here, money. We can see here, money for this one for me, because I'm a scalper. Remember, I'm a scalper. Now, I want to show you guys something. So, and this is important. And this is always messes with people's heads when we talk about syncing charts. This candle opened up at 12:25. That means this candle closed at 12:30. So let me make sure I get that right. 12:30, this candle closed. So let's go over to the 1-minute and see if we bought a put on this candle right here, would we have made money at 12:30? I don't know if we would have or not. So we're going to find out together. 12:30. Track this 12:30. Okay, let me show you guys something. This is important. This is where the candle closed. Everything under that line to the right of that is profit, right? You would have gotten out right here taking you 11 minutes to get out of that position on a 5-minute chart. If you're not a scalper, you would have had to wait to over here, 2 o'clock, right? You would have had to wait a little longer to get out that position. It still did what it was supposed to do. It just took a little longer for you to get out. Now I want to show you guys something oh, wait a minute. Go back to the 5-minute, because we are looking at the 5-minute chart. Okay, yesterday. Right here, 9:25, 9:30. Money. Right here, money. Even the fast indicators are money on a longer chart. Right here, money. Right here, money. Right here, we just looked at that. Did we just look at that? No, we didn't. Okay, let's see. This is money because the candle is so long. Remember, these are 5-minute candles. This is money long on the long candles. If you see a doji on a 5-minute candle on the X, then you have to go and check and see if you would have been able to get out like we just did. But we can see that these candles, these longer candles, are just money. We can see that on the longer candles, the call signals. Now, this is for a call. If it's under the candles, it's a call. If it's over the candles, it's a put. So we can see on this is money, but this one, not so much. So you have to make up your mind whether or not you're going to get in. We'll probably take these out so you don't even have to worry about it. So I'll keep an eye on this today, and tomorrow we'll check and see what time we would have got our first signal on this. But on a longer chart, we still would have been waiting on this. We will probably have a 1-minute chart and a 5-minute chart. So it's up to you, the speed of the time chart that you use. The 5-minute chart is going to be a little safer, but you're gonna feel like you're missing opportunities. But it's very important that between now and then to work on your risk management, right? And these are probably more accurate than I am, to be honest with you. Okay. So let's see, AAPL. Let's go back to our Apple. So this is a 5-minute chart on Apple. Okay. This is when we get in, money. This is a faster signal. I don't know if that's money or not. I don't know if it probably was because that's a doji. So it went this high. I don't know what time that candle flashed. So the first call was money. The first put was money. So just something to think about when we start in April, and make sure that you understand what the indicators mean. I don't know if we'll have the fast one or not, to be honest. So that's pretty much it. Mrs. Christo asked that I try to stay on until 11. So does anyone have any questions about what you just looked at in preparation for April?
There's a question in the chat that is asking, will the chart change from company to company?
We'll probably have multiple companies up there. We'll probably have at least three. We'll have NVIDIA, SPY, and QQQ. So we'll have multiple companies on multiple time frames, as long as we can make it to where it looks presentable. Sometimes when you try to jam too many companies in, it looks crazy as hell. So we'll have more than one company to trade. You'll always have something to trade, always, and throughout the day. And like I said, in the beginning, we'll just run it till 11. But then what eventually we'll do is we'll just run it. At some point we'll run it all day, as well as Forex, as well as crypto. So you'll be able to catch trades throughout the day. So there's no excuse not to trade something. That's why I was very excited to get people into the Forex class. We'll go from Forex to Bitcoin. Everything will be automated. You just get up, wait for a signal, and go on with your bad self.
There's a question. Oh, somebody did ask about this earlier, if this would be recorded. We'll extract this piece and provide that to folks.
No, we won't. We're not going to extract anything. No, because we're going to go over this. We still have almost 2 months before this goes live. So we'll discuss this. We'll bring Danielle on. Danielle's the person that crafted the actual wrote the code for it. She and I work together. I don't know if we work together on this or not, but we've been working together on alerts for so long now. It's crazy. So she'll come on. We'll have plenty of time to explain everything about it. We had some extra time today, so I said, why not go over that? So you will understand everything. We'll have some test runs. The only thing that people will struggle with will be risk management. Everything else not going to be a struggle. Everything else going to be pretty easy. We'll probably add 1 or 2 other indicators that are just as simple between now and then. So you'll have a multitude of really strong signals to enter and exit on.
Okay. Will there be separate rooms for each company?
No, because you'll see multiple companies on the one screen.
Okay.
So you'll see at least 3 companies on one screen, right? So you'll see a bunch of companies on the same screen.
Okay.
You can do about 14 of these on one screen. The problem with doing 14 is they start to look crazy. So I trade about 4 companies. I trade NVIDIA, Apple, the companies that we always trade. NVIDIA, Apple, SPY, QQQ. I always trade the same companies. So, and the reason why we trade those is because of the volatility. Tesla's another beautiful one. But we'll make sure that it's presentable. We don't want to make it to where you go to, you can't see anything. So I want you guys to look at this on the 5 minute. This is Tesla. Look at this. Look at it. It's crazy. This is $5. So imagine if you got in right here and you said, well, I'm all the money. You're up 100% on the 5 minute chart. On the 1 minute chart, you're going to see the same thing, but you're going to see more than one, right? Money, 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 money. So Tesla, we may add Tesla. There's some nuances to Tesla that everybody needs to know about. But if you decide, well, I like the longer charts, it seems to be fewer opportunities, but those are some pretty damn right on the money indicators. You should be excited about this. Jamie was like, oh my God, we got to raise prices. That's the first. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get canceled if I say something about a certain group of people, which I have none of in me. I think my wife does, but not me. So, which means Jamie has a very small piece. But Jamie's reaction is, we should raise the price. That's just how he is. I don't know if he's on or not. But we're not going to do that. The prices already go up every month. But what we're trying to do, guys, is give you a suite of financial assets to trade. But we've spent a lot of time working with the emotional part of trading, which is risk management. And that's okay, and that's fine. That's part of trading. That's the hard part of trading. And once you have that down, then there's no reason for you not to excel at trading. You gotta be able to cut your losses. You got to be able to have an idea of when you want to get out of a position when you're up. You got to take the Las Vegas out of it. And I feel like by going strictly to automation, you're going to be okay. You're going to be just fine. Everybody going to be okay. So this is what it's going to look like. Like I said, you'll have a 1 minute and a 5 minute. Some of you will like the 1 minute. Don't ask me what that is. I know what that is, but I want to get into that. This is what it's going to look like, guys. And we're going to have, there's a couple new indicators that I'm working on that rival this indicator. So it is just true. It was a game changer, right? A game changer. Let's look at AMD. Okay, AMD is struggling today, but look at this. You get in right here, that's money. That is money right there, guys. That ain't nothing but money. We can see here on the early one, you probably would have been able to get in that because of the wicks on that candle. But Jamie's recommendation is just take this out because all it's going to do is get people jumping in when they probably shouldn't. Just leave it. Make it simple. 2 trades, 2 signals, in and out. In and out. That's it. So it doesn't matter what we look at up here. They're all going to look the same. All going to look the same. Okay, we just got an entry on this. Right now. So we don't know what this is going to do, but this candle has a big wick on it. And it's got 2 minutes before it closes. I can almost guarantee I can go back when this candle closes, and I can almost guarantee that it's going to be a winner. But you have to have some form of risk management. You have to. If you don't, you're just going to keep, churning your account. So let's see what else. I think that's the most volatile companies that we've looked at. So that's what it looks like. That's what it's gonna look like. I hope everybody's excited about it. You still got about 6 weeks to get yourself together, risk management. Before this, I got about 7 weeks before this goes live. We'll go over it multiple times, make sure everybody understands it. But you got a little time to get your risk management together. Any other questions, Ms. Jerry?
Will this automation be incorporated in the hard shares room?
Probably so. Probably so. I mean, it works for hard shares. The only difference is Jamie's trading Microsoft today. That's what he and my granddaughter traded together. Let's see. So for Jamie, if he were using this system, he would still be waiting on an entry on that position, right? Let's see, Netflix. I'm in some Netflix right now too. Let me see what it's doing. I would still be waiting. So I can't say what Jamie's going to do. Jamie likes to trade hard shares. Whenever you trade, it's interesting. Whenever you trade and you're calling signals, things change, right? Things change. Like my accuracy in January was ridiculously pathetic. I don't usually have any losses, but when you're concerned about what other people are doing and very emotional, and that's part of trading, and I understand, I'm not complaining. It has a tendency to bleed out on you, and that's what's happened. And once again, I'm not blaming anyone else. I fully expected that, but it affects your trading. I spoke with Mrs. Danielle last night after her trading class, and she said I damn near blew my account messing around in this damn class. I said, you can't trade live money when you're training people. Well, I trade live money, but whenever you're doing that with other people, for whatever reason, it's all psychological. Though. It changes the way you trade. It changes everything because you're worried about other people's money. You shouldn't be, but it's easy. It's easier said than done. So Jamie, about 2 weeks in, he said, Dad, I don't really like this because I rarely got stuck, and now I'm getting stuck all the damn time. And it's because people are asking questions. It's because all of those things. So I can't say for sure what he'll do, and I shouldn't say. I'm going to buy some more Netflix today. I'm do that right now. So I shouldn't say what Jamie's going to do, but it'll be set up to where you'll be able to decipher whether it be automation or whether it be Jamie actually calling signals. You'll be able to make sense of it. Now, most people trip when Netflix goes down, but I just buy more of it. Because what? I know Netflix is going to run up this year sometime. I just don't know when it's going. So I could be what they call catching a falling knife, which means I keep buying down and it keeps going down. So that's tricky. So be careful with that. Okay.
And what we're seeing right now with the X is the signal. It's just the extra.
Yeah, the X is the signal right here. So let's do this. This is the buy signal. Now, this is a 5-minute chart. So this chart could take a while to actually play out. And I'm glad this happened while we're watching. So if you're buying this right now, let me look at some. I'm going to look at some. Damn. I'm ignoring my phone. Give me a second. I got like 5 phones, guys. I don't know where the one is that has my. Oh, I'm looking at that. If you can see, it's gone above that, so that would have been money right there. It's above that line where I put that line. So let me double check though. What I'm doing now is I'm going to Netflix options. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, it was 84, now it's 86. So if you had jumped in, it was probably around 83. I can't say for certain because I wasn't looking at it when someone said would this will be a buy, but yes, and it's gone up 2 cents. But that doesn't mean that you should stay in or get out. You have to decide what type of trader you are. Now it's 87. So it's gone from 83 to 87 on that X. That X is not closed. Now, some of you will say, well, I want to do the safest thing and wait for the X to close. I just buy it. I don't even wait for the damn X to close. I just jump in. Now it's 88, right? So you have to decide, okay, when am I going to get out? Now it's 89. So it's gone from 83 to 89. So now it's 90. So you have to decide at what point you're going to take your profits. You can always set up a position that where if it goes below where you got in, let's say right now it's 89, 90. Well, you got in at 83. So you could go in and say, if it drops to 88, get me out of the position. You can protect your profit. Once people stop looking at options as Vegas, you can protect your downside. So now it's 89. So this thing has just went from, I'm assuming it was 83 because it was 84 85 when I looked at it. It's gone as high as 90. Right? So just on this, if we were trading Netflix, you would have been in and out of this position. And you would be like, oh, I love this. Now, what'll happen is it'll continue to go up until it gets to the X, the other red X, and then you'll be like, damn, I should have stayed in. That's all part of trading that you have to, make it make sense for yourself. So no one can help you with that. You have to, work on that. And when I say you, I'm speaking generally to everyone. You have to figure out, your risk management, your profit management. That's going to be something for each individual person to figure out. But the good thing about this, when this is full blown, and it probably won't be full blown until June, you'll be able to trade almost 24 hours a day to trade something. Probably won't do futures because futures people can lose a tremendous amount of money and it's just really highly leveraged. So futures will be the last thing that we do. But we're gonna do Forex, and then from Forex, we're gonna go to crypto, and we'll figure out how to present. Oh, look, now that's a big candle, but this thing is only 87 cents. So, and the reason why it's only 87 is because that candle hasn't gone above that wick, right? That wick, the previous wick. But remember, this had to be 83 cents when it first opened. I was a little late to open. I couldn't even find my phone. So now it's 87. So look how long you're up in this position. The reason why you're up in this position is a longer chart, right? So now it's 85. I think when I first looked at it, it was 84, 85. So now we'll be back where you got in. So you could always go in and set up a stop limit to get you out in a profitable trade. But if you're an all the money trader, you're going to say, well, I'm going to stay in. Now, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, it says 74% stay in. That means this will probably continue to go up. Doesn't mean that it won't have ups and downs. It just means that it'll continue to go up. There's a 74% chance that it's going to continue to go up. There's a 20% chance that it's going to go down. That's only 95%. Where's that other 5%? So we're going to have to work on that because that should be 100%, not 95%. There's a missing 5%. We will figure that out. So hopefully that answers your question. Now it's 81. So this is also important. It's 81, but if you look at it, it's still above where you got in at. And that's because this candle is a 5-minute candle. So you have to remember that. So if you had jumped in right here, I'm going to hypothetically say it was 83. It got as high as 90, and now it's pulled back to 81. But this is still saying stay in this position. It's going to continue to go up. But this is where people get the bubble guts, right? So you have to work all of that out. And I can't tell people how to trade. I can't say you shouldn't be an all the money trader because all the money trades are fun. And when you win, you really win big. But at the same time, when you scalp, scalping is fun too because you're making money. So everybody has to decide what type of trader they are. And no one can do that for you. Now it's 76. So doesn't mean that candle's not going to continue to go up. But it does mean that on this candle gave us plenty of opportunity to get in and make money on this candle. And I did not wait for this candle to close. But even if I had waited for this candle to close, I still would have made money. Well, yeah, because it closed here and it got as high as here. So I'm glad we had this. I'm glad this thing popped off when we were looking at it. I'm glad I looked at my brokerage account to track the premium. Now it's down to 75, 76. So everybody has to decide what their risk tolerance is. Are they willing to be down temporarily before this thing just shoots to the moon? You're the only person that can answer that. Nobody else can answer that. I'm a scalper, so y'all know how I trade. I get in and I get out. Any other questions, Ms. Jeremy?
Yes, are there two questions here? Are there false signals like the X appears, then disappears? Will you be going over teaching people how to choose contracts?
Well, we don't teach anymore, but that's all. We already have all that information out in the. Do we have that, Mrs. Jared? Do we did that for DLTC Global Signals?
To choose contract, I mean, the
Contract.
trading
Yeah.
demo tells you how to get in and get out.
Does it have which contracts to choose? I don't know if we've done that for DLTC signal specific.
Specifically, how many contracts? to
No, how to identify. So let's say in April, we won't be selecting contracts. It'll all just be automated. So
Mhm.
people have to know, well, how do I select a contract? Which contract do I?
No, we haven't
Okay,
gone over
so
options.
we'll do that for you. We'll put together something for you as far as contract selection so that you'll understand how to select contracts. If you go into it with an open mind, it's actually pretty easy. I'm gonna say it's gonna take an hour, which is probably about 4 hours. But it's fairly easy. It's what I do a lot when they say stop teaching. When we talk about volume and open interest and contracts. SPY and QQQ and NVIDIA, really easy. But yes, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, we'll certainly do something for everybody. And we'll do that in plenty of time before April. So that everybody has time to go over it multiple times and get some practice in paper trading. We'll go over that by the middle of March.
And are there false signals like the X appears then disappears?
Well, that's another thing. I always, when I see the X, I'm in. But for me, I'm a scalper. So the safest thing to do would be to wait for the candle to close, right? Now, this is a perfect example of that because this candle closed right here. You can see you still would have made it, right? You see that. I didn't make money because I wasn't in that trade. If I were in that trade, I would have made money on this. This just happened to stay. But if you say, well, I want it's like the Trina theorem. If you say, well, I want the safest trade, well, then you need to wait for the candle to close. And you still would have done fine. That's the safest thing to do. So that's going to be up to the trader. Most traders like, man, when I see that candle, I mean, I'm not waiting around. When this thing popped, when someone said that candle appeared, it still had over 2.5 minutes to close. So it wasn't even halfway through its cycle. But I jumped in, the candle kept pushing up, closed green, and then this opened up green. It's red now because it closed less than this, and it ran up even higher. So that's a perfect example. Now let's go and look at some other candles on the signal. So that's a great question. So I'm glad I'm doing this because you guys are asking some great questions, and it's in plenty of time. That's where the candle. That's where the candle closed. So this is Apple. So if we were looking at Apple, I would have gotten in as soon as I seen it. I don't wait for the candle to close, but I will cut my losses. So for people who aren't, risk management, they may want to wait. So then they just run up. This is a hell of a run up on Apple, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. It doesn't look crazy because we're on a 5-minute chart, but this is a crazy run up. This is 268. This is over $1 right here. So this is insane this is going to take you from 269.50 all the way up to 270. You're going to make some money on this contract if you are an all the money trader. I'm a scalper. So let's look at some other ones. What's another QQQ? Okay, let's look at the QQQ. So whoever asked that question, that was a good question. That's the safest trade. Wait for the candle to close, play it. Boom. Right? Let's look at the SPY. That's where the candle closes. Boom. So it's up to you whether or not you're going to wait for the candle to close or not. It's up to you. But it's the safest thing to do. So hopefully that makes sense.
I think that's all the questions. I would just say, so housekeeping for tomorrow is we'll still be doing the check-ins. We're doing check-ins in the evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Mr. T will provide a lesson. He is giving a lesson tomorrow, so that'll be every Wednesday at 9 a.m. He'll give a lesson. He will not be joining us in the evenings for the check-ins, but once a week he'll give a lesson on Wednesdays, 9 a.m. So just just put that in the mental note, the mental Rolodex, 9 a.m. on Wednesdays.
Thank you, Mr. Gerald. And before we go, guys, really focus on getting your risk management done. Really focus on cutting your losses. really focus on being ready when we go automated in in about 7 weeks. Like I said, we're gonna just continue to work on these alerts, continue to expand signals. I know that even though we had some people that I can prove that they were up 80 something percent in their account, 70% of people were down. That's too many people. Now that's expected because a lot of people are new traders. And probably 85% of that is because of you're just not cutting your losses. You're just using too much powder. Really have to focus in on that in February. We had a situation where somebody was in a position and they stayed in that position till they went down to 90. And if they had just cut that position at 10 or even 20, they would have ended the day green. So we really have to focus in on risk management in February. We'll review the signals, and we'll bring Danielle in and explain all the money graph up there, the pain. But I've showed you guys what this means. We'll probably take out that circle because we don't want people to. It could go against you if it's falling apart or blowing up. So whenever you are met with an obstacle, and this is my little motivation Monday evening, it's Tuesday. It has been a struggle for me to trade signals, even though people were up in their accounts. Some people are really up in their accounts. I was up 11%. That's not a big percentage for me, but I'll take it. I'm grateful and I'm appreciative. But I just didn't give up. I said, well, let me go to the drawing board. Let me go back to the drawing board and figure out something that can make it easier for myself and make it easier for everyone else. And working with Mrs. Danielle, like I said, I've been working with her for 3 years. Everybody wanted me to throw that relationship away. And then she helped to come up with this. And I give her 90% of the credit. 95%. I'll take 5. This is a game changer, but it's not going to be a game changer for you if you don't have risk management. If your risk management's not top notch, I don't know how a person could lose on this, but people find the strangest damn ways to lose their money. So just focus in on the next 7-8 weeks. It's going to be. We did some really slow trades today. We did some yesterday and today. Yesterday, that second trade took forever, but the one that was up over 100%. And today's Apple trade was like 80%. These things take time, right? When you're doing really safe trades, these scalpel trades, what I call surgical trades. This will take a lot of that out for you, but you still have to show up and execute when you see the signal, right? And it's just going to be fantastic. Like I said, we're not going to raise the prices. We're going to commit to the prices that everybody's paying. Not that they're paying now. The prices already go up every month, but they don't go up by much. We're not going to hook and bait and switch you. Prices aren't going to go crazy overnight because we're running signals pretty much all day and multiple financial assets. But that's going to create opportunity for you in other arenas. But you really do have to get your risk management together, and you really have to make money. It's very important that you make money. We don't want you to lose money. So that's all I got, Ms. Jarrett. Do you have anything? I don't know if Ms. Crystal is still on or not. If there's no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and get off.
No more questions.
No,
We're
It was
good.
it was a good day today. Did you trade today, Ms. Jarrett?
Yes, I did.
Okay, 2 wins.
Yes, the 2
Okay.
wins. Yep.
I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss doing all this talking come April. So I may talk a lot to you, but in April I just won't be talking at all, and we'll just be doing our Wednesday thing. So don't give up. Work on your risk management, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.